Hey there everyone, it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I figured we could just do a really casual Christmas prep video. I have a lot of things that I've been wanting to get done, so I figured we could just get cozy and get them all done today. I wanted to do these really easy 3-ingredient dough ornaments and then make them into little gingerbread shapes and use those for garnishes on presents and for gifts. I also wanted to make some Christmas toffee, and then I wanted to DIY some watercolor Christmas cards. So we're gonna get all of that done. But first I wanted to do my holiday nails real quick. I've shown these before on the channel, but this is what I always use. They're these Dashing Diva gloss nail stickers, and they're so easy. Not sponsored or anything. They literally take 5 minutes to put on. You don't have to wait for them to dry. They last a full 2 weeks for me, and I usually get 2 manicures out of 1 pack. You can get these at like TJ Maxx or Ulta or whatever. And then I'm gonna make myself a coffee, and I also wanted to show you, this has been my new seasonal favorite to just kind of make my coffee feel festive this holiday season. It's this peppermint cold foam. I got mine at Aldi, but I'm sure like Target and other places like that have something similar. So yeah, we're gonna do that and start our day. Okay, so that seriously took me like 5 minutes to do. This is the final product, and I don't know if you all can see, they're like super shiny. So they have that gel-like finish, and they keep that for the full 2 weeks, which I love. They don't fade or anything. So now that we don't have to wait for them to dry, we can just jump right into making our salt ornaments. Okay, so making these is so simple. You just start off with 4 cups of flour and 1 cup of table salt. You're just gonna whisk the dry ingredients together so that they're combined, and then slowly add 1.5 cups of water. And you can also use a hand mixer for this as well, but it's gonna get to the point eventually where it's getting very hard to mix. So you're gonna wanna take the dough out and hand knead it from there. And this actually made quite a bit of dough, so I broke mine up into 2 sections to roll out. And I just used 2 sheets of parchment paper in between the dough to prevent sticking. And this part definitely took some elbow grease since the dough was pretty hard, but you wanna try to get it as thin as you can. And then I just used my gingerbread cookie cutters to make all of the shapes. And because I was planning on making these into ornaments, I poked a little hole in the top of each one with a straw, and I used a bamboo skewer to remove the dough in the straw after each poke. And then I laid them all out on baking sheets with some parchment paper underneath and baked them at 300 degrees for an hour, or at least until they're hard. You definitely want to keep an eye on them though, because they can burn, but I was painting mine, so the burn didn't really concern me, but I did flip them halfway through, and I definitely don't think that this was necessary, but I just did it anyway. All right, so while those are baking, I figured we'd give our guest bath a little bit of a refresh, because this has been one of the last places that I haven't gotten to with the decorating yet. I have been so behind this year, and we do have guests coming next week for our gingerbread house decorating contest. But I really need to get decor up in here, and I found these super cute little ceramic houses at Target this year. I love the finish on them and how they look kind of rustic, and they also light up, which is so cute. I probably won't keep the lights on, permanently, but they do have a timer, which is cool, but I'll probably just pop them on when we have guests. But yeah, they were $5 each, so I bought 2 of them and thought they'd be cute on our shelves in here. And pretty much all of the rest of my decor is just what I used last year, so figured it'd be nice to just get that up in here. Okay, so our cookies are out of the oven, and we had a mix of some successes and some failures. As you can see, like these got really puffy in the middle, so they kind of like got some air bubbles, and I did read that that is from making them too thick. So you see, like this one I made super thin and it turned out perfect. So I would definitely recommend making them as thin as you can. I thought I was making them pretty thin, but the thinnest ones that were really, really thin turned out great. So we kind of have a mix here of some like super bubbly ones and then just some good ones. But I think once they're painted, they'll still turn out really cute. So we're gonna let all of them cool and go do our watercolor cards. Okay, so for the cards, I really just like to have these for, you know, sending in packages when I send gifts across the country, or if I'm giving someone some toffee. It's just nice to have a little card to go with it. So these are always nice to have a little stockpile of, and I'm just using this watercolor pad that I got from Walmart, and I'm just gonna cut these into card-like sizes, and that's it. And then I also use these watercolor pens. My mother-in-law actually got me these for a gift a couple years back, and I really love them. I think that they're super easy to use, and they're just my go-to when creating cards. I did some with them last year, so yeah, we're just gonna kind of see what we can come up with. Okay, so these are them all now that I have the first coat on, and they're just drying, so then I'll flip them over and do the other side. But I did want to tell you all that I started off with this folk art coffee bean color, and it was way too dark, so then I ended up mixing this khaki color in, and I did about 50-50 of each, and this is kind of the color that it came out to be. So I'm really happy with it. It looks like a true kind of gingerbread color. So like I said, these are pretty much dry, so we're just going to flip them over, paint the other side, and then we'll do the white. So I was thinking that I could have also spray painted these to speed up the process a little bit, but I love hand painting because it's relaxing for me. And for the white detail, I wanted it to feel like real icing, so I just squeezed some white acrylic paint out in a sandwich bag, and I made sure to get all of the air out, and then I cut a little piece off in the corner so this could mimic the effect of pipe frosting. And if you're unsure about your piping skills, I did paint a couple with a paintbrush as well. Okay, so I'm gonna let the gingerbread ornaments completely dry overnight because tomorrow I'm gonna spray them with an acrylic sealer. I really want mine to have that high gloss finish so they look like handmade ceramics, like they've been glazed and put through the kiln. I know that Pottery Barn sells a whole bunch of gingerbread decor and they all have that really high gloss ceramic look to them, which is kind of what I'm going for. But if you want them to look a little bit more realistic, like actual gingerbread, you could always spray them with a matte sealer. You'd probably be fine with just getting away with just the paint and not doing a sealer, but I want to seal mine just in case. I want mine to last for a really long time, especially since I'm giving them as gifts. I also want to go make my toffee so that can set overnight. So I'm going to go do that real quick and then I will check back in with you all tomorrow morning. So you're just going to need 2 sticks of butter and 1 packed cup of light brown sugar, and heat that over medium in a small saucepan. And I usually just break up the butter as it melts and stir everything together so nothing sticks or burns and it's all evenly incorporated. And then then once you start to see little bubbles forming, you want to set a timer for 6.5 minutes and constantly stir the entire time so it doesn't burn. So once the timer goes off or the toffee is looking fluffy and gets slightly darker in color around the edges, you'll want to remove it from the heat and pour it into a pan. And you have to work quickly because it does harden up fast, and be careful because it is super hot at this point. So once you have that all spread out as even as you can get it, you'll want to melt one of these giant chocolate bars, and you can use whatever chocolate you like. I think that the milk is the best, but you can use dark or chocolate with nuts. And I actually already have this melted before I pour the toffee so that I can add it in right after so that there's no separation. And this is what it looks like all ready to set overnight. Okay, so it's next morning and this is what the toffee looks like after setting overnight. So what I do at this point is I basically just take a knife and I break it up into random chunks, and then I put it in a little tin with some tin foil. And I actually find these little tins for super cheap at the Dollar Tree. They're $1.25. So I usually buy a couple of them for the season because they're great for, you know, gifting baked goods or little stocking stuffers or whatever. So I actually have my last ceramics class of the year in just a couple hours. So I'm going to try to put some of these together for our instructor and the lady who helps to load the kiln, and then we'll finish up the gingerbread ornaments. Okay, so now I am so excited to finish our little gingerbread ornaments. So basically what I'm going to do is spray them with this Krylon triple thick clear glaze. And this is what I use for anything that I want to give that ceramic finish to. So I'll take them outside, spray one side, let them dry, flip them and do the other side. And then I'll put some little lace ribbon that I found at the Dollar Tree through them. So I'm really excited about how these turned out. If you guys can see, this is how they dried. Super adorable. I love how it looks like actual icing. I will say, given the choice between the ones that I painted on and then the ones that I squeezed on, I like the ones that had that faux icing look, like out of the piping bag. So this one on the left was one that I squeezed through the bag, and then this one, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it just looks a lot flatter. These look a little bit more 3D and raised. I also thought about going to get puff paint, but my car was in the shop yesterday, so I just kind of had to make do with what I had. But I bet puff paint would look super cute on these too. All right, everyone, Conan and I wanted to say bye. I just wanted to thank you all so much for watching this video. And if you can, please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And be sure that you're subscribed if you're not already, because I do have a gingerbread house decorating contest party prep video coming out soon. So you don't want to miss that. We just want to thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a fabulous week, and we will see you all in the next video. Right, Con? High five. High five. It's a wrap. We can go play now. Good job. Bye.